Here are all the requirements to naturalize to become a U.S. citizen. First, you have to be a green card holder for 5 years. Unless you're married to a U.S. citizen in a bona fide marriage, then it's 3 years. Or unless you're in the military, only a green card holder for 1 year. You have to meet physical presence requirements. That means that more than half the time, you had to be physically present in the United States of America and no trip abroad for more than 6 months. So for example, if you're filing your naturalization based on having a green card for 5 years, 30 out of 60 months, you have to have your physical feet in the United States of America and no trip more than 6 months. Also, you have to file in the state where you live. And you have to be living in that state for at least 90 days before you file. So if you live in Georgia and then move to New York, wait 90 days before filing your naturalization. You have to be a person of good moral character. That means that you have never lied to the U.S. government, you have not made any misrepresentations, you have not lied under oath, and that you do not have any criminal records, all within the 5-year look back between the time you file your naturalization and 5 years back. Unless, of course, you're basing it on marriage, then 3 years back, or unless you're basing it on military, 1 year back. In addition, you cannot have any aggravated felonies after November 1990. If you have an aggravated felony after November 1990, you're permanently barred from ever naturalizing to become a U.S. citizen. You cannot have made a false claim to U.S. citizenship or unlawfully voted, although there are exceptions to those rules. And you would need to speak to an attorney to figure out if you fall within one of those exceptions. If you are a male between the ages of 18 and 26 and you did not register for the Selective service, which is give your name to the U.S. military if there's ever a draft in the future, then that also would indicate not having good moral character. If you're in removal proceedings, you can't prove good moral character. And if you're on probation, you can't prove good moral character. So you can't file for your naturalization in those circumstances. You must be attached to the principles of the United States Constitution, and you must be willing to bear arms on behalf of the United States of America, which means join the military if there's a mandatory draft. And you cannot become a U.S. citizen if you're a communist, a terrorist, or a subversive. But that's obvious. You also must be able to demonstrate knowledge of U.S. history and be able to read and write English. You will be given a civics test. You have to answer 6 out of the 10 questions correctly. You will be asked to read basic English and write basic English on a 6th grade level. There are exceptions to the requirements to read and write English and take the history test for medical reasons, if you're unable to do it because of a medical condition, or if you've had a green card for a long period of time and you've reached a certain age.